Alright, so it's not like there isn't enough comparisons to Captain Planet starting off with water, earth, fire, wind, you just need the heart.
By your powers combined, I am the Painted Lady!
Yeah, now we have this pollution thing, which of course you're just thinking like, I just want to see Captain Pollution rise up and go, ah!
Now we get Bluto with a scar on his face.
Instead. So we have this episode called The Painted Lady, which, again, it's good because of the ending, which sort of clearly states, look, you shouldn't rely on, sort of these magical elements to come in and just save the day. You have to sort of pull your own way. You have to
do something.
But at the same time, they're doing this after a magic element came in and saved the day. or the real magic element comes in later, says thanks, does absolutely nothing, and leaves. So it's...
Well, but wait a second. The magical element was saved by them actually doing something.
Oh, okay. So the idea is that the Painted Lady was like sort of like the river spirit or something like that.
It's spirited.
It's spirited away.
Yeah, it's spirited away. It's I don't know if they're intentionally lifting anything from Spirited Away, but that's the first thing I thought was that polluted river spirit.
Yeah,
by
cleaning it up, the spirit could live again. So okay.
Well done.
So. Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense, so that by making it so it didn't get polluted to begin with, maybe the elements that could help them, can stay alive, or can be stronger at the very least.
You really didn't pick up on that?
No, I really didn't. I was just like, well, what the hell was she doing there at the end? I'm like, oh, okay. So now that makes a little bit more sense.
She had so much shit all over her that she couldn't do anything, so...
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. But
this whole... also remember, this whole universe has nature spirits everywhere, which is actually important when you get near the end of it. So I think it was a nice way to also remind the viewers that, yeah, there are nature spirits out there, and they may be tired of getting crapped upon, and they may help you out.
I saw at the very end, by the way, because she comes and she says, thank you, and walks away. I said, yeah, thank. I said, you did absolutely nothing. What the hell? And I saw you open your mouth and then close it. I'm saying, okay, so that's either going to come in later, or I'm making a jackass of myself, and you're going to let me make a jackass of myself on video.
Well, if you're talking about does this Painted Lady come in later, I don't think so.
No, but you were just waiting for me to say, oh, he didn't catch that actually the spirit was brought back by cleaning the river, and you want to wait until I could say it on video.
I was giving you time to come to that conclusion yourself, Prince Zuko.
Wise teacher, wise Uncle Eros.
You must come to this conclusion
No,
yourself.
you were the best of me until we were recording. Then you could teach me the way, show me the way.
I couldn't appear to be an ass myself.
But no, I did not realize that. If I went back to the opening narration.
No, I thought you were just more talking about what was the point of that episode. I didn't.
Well,
I didn't realize you didn't get that connection at all. I just thought you were gonna say it was a
you
filler
liar.
Episode.
No, if you want me to embarrass myself on video.
I thought you were going to say it was a filler episode, in which case I was going to argue it.
No, I don't think...
Slightly is, but not entirely.
I mean, it's... We had the episode before where, he's in the school with the kids and he's trying to help them out and show them, hey, you can be a little rebellious, you can be this and that, you can be kids, it's... find that way, find that creative way. And he here is pushing a little further, saying, look, yes, we can help out here and there, but ultimately the responsibility is yours. And the power is yours.
The power is yours.
But and again, I do question it a touch, because like I said, they did come in, they were the ones that destroyed the factory, and I hate to go Fox News, but you could argue a little bit like capitalist, well, wait a minute, I don't know. I mean, it's still bad guys, still Fire Nation and such, and obviously a very pro-environment, which, got nothing against that at all.
Well, I think there's something else here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're still in the Fire Nation, so this is another example twice in a row, which I think is useful, which is saying there are perfectly reasonable good people in the Fire Nation. It's just this is a really crappy regime running the show. which I think is important. I think it's part of this journey they're making through the Fire Nation, where they're kind of realizing not everything is as it seems. That, what are we going to do in the end? Because, we can say, yeah, we can kill a bunch of people and bring the Fire Nation down, but at the same time, it's just like, will there be collateral damage? Are there other ways around this?
And at the same time, at the very end, it's revealed that it's Katara as the painted lady, and at first they say, it's a wonder bender. We don't like your kind around here. But
I love how they turn so quickly.
No. But then they turn back so quickly, and I'm sort of okay.
It's basically
get the lesson across,
they're like the citizens of Springfield on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Every other second, it's like,
no, hey, she helped you out. That factory would still be here. She's right, and I know because I'm the crazy guy that speaks for everybody. So it's
love the crazy dude.
Yeah, but no, we thought the same thing. I said
we both thought the joke was going one way.
I thought that it was going to be every time he ducks and comes out, there actually was another brother there, but it's really just a crazy guy, and that's it.
No, actually,
didn't build up to enough of a punch.
I thought the joke was going to be he's like, no, that sounds like my other brother. Like he's brought in a third brother now that he hasn't portrayed yet. And I thought they were going to be like, oh, yeah, right, you're all just the same guy. And there actually is some other person that actually is his brother that is now the third one. So he's actually...
And maybe he's a twin, but maybe actually he's perfectly normal. It's like, there's a couple things you could have done with that joke.
I think maybe that was getting a little too cerebral, and they were just like, no, we'll just throw in a joke about, I think he's crazy.
Yeah, but it could have been a shorter punchline, but, it doesn't ruin anything. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily call it a filler episode, because, again, you're sort of conflicting whether or not you do want to help the people in this nation, but how...
There's very few...
What is the extent, and where do you stop and help the little people, and what's the big picture, what's the smaller picture, where do you draw the line?
I mean, it is a necessary episode, and there's very few... When I say it's slightly a filler episode, I mean it in the sense that there are very few, if any, true filler episodes. So, but there are some that seem a little more filler-ish, maybe, than others, and while I think this is a necessary episode... There may be elements of this that you could have found a way to shoehorn into other episodes. You may not have absolutely needed this, but I still really enjoyed it. It was a great... I'll say this, too. It was a great Katara moment. I love that moment when she stands up to Sokka and says, no! I'm going to go help these people, and then Sokka has that great line afterwards where he's like, fine, I'm coming with you. And, she's been kind of going along with these plans lately, and it was a nice moment for her to just sort of stand up. And it taps into her character, because they made her the healer, which...
Obviously, she wants to constantly...
Could have been totally a Ma-T role of just, this character sucks. Heart. And instead, I think episodes like this show her standing up and saying, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help this town. I'm going to heal these people. And it's another thing that I think kind of plays out later near the end. That desire to help, I think you could argue, manifests itself, in the final episode. So.
You could read a little bit more, and this is where I kind of have a problem, I kind of don't, or I don't know if I really have a problem with it, which is, sort of the big picture, small picture. I mean, Sokka... I was telling Rob, I'm like, Sokka's reminding me a lot of me in this episode. I'm like, come on, we got the schedule, let's go. Oh, well, this is going to put us 5 minutes behind, come on. Well, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can combine eating and going to the toilet at the same time. As I'm looking at it, it's like,
I think you tried that on set once, actually.
I'm looking at it, it's like, oh my god, this is me.
It's very Clark W.
But because of that, I really identified with him when he's saying, look, here's this big picture. We're a day behind, we're a couple days behind. We need to get going. This is the bigger picture. This is what we're doing this for, and instead they're going to stay behind another day to help these people, which on the one hand, sure, that is helping out, but if they're all going to be blown to bits anyway, or they're all going to be destroyed, then what is to stop those people, those soldiers, from going back and not telling the Fire Nation, hey, we just saw this woman who could, earth bend and water bend, maybe use the Avatar and drag. We don't know if they're going to keep quiet. In fact, it's very unlikely they're going to keep quiet. So I'm kind of on the fence on this one, because I don't know. I guess we sort of assume that they don't tell anybody, because again, family show, but what kind of lesson is that really saying? Or, I mean, it's never good to think in extremes, like this is always the right thing to do, but
I would argue this. Do you win the battle but lose the war? If they just simply go in and kill the Fire Lord or take over the city or whatever, you still have an entire nation indoctrinated in this crap. You know, is it really going to solve everything? Like, maybe by setting themselves up and leading by example here, they're actually planting seeds in places along the way.
Now, couldn't you plant those seeds afterwards as well, though? Okay, and that's assuming that you can. No, that's assuming you can get there in time. Because again, he's saying the schedule we're being put back, and we only have whatever this 8-minute plan that when the eclipse hit. Which, of course, I'm sure they're gonna get there. They're gonna get there in time, obviously. But I mean,
no, actually, they don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it ends on a really dark note.
Oh, wow, really?
They don't make it there. They lose the entire bet. No.
Wow, awesome. But regardless.
I mean...
but you know what I'm saying here? That, hey, here's the big picture. And I'm not saying I'm necessarily right. I'm saying that I'm asking if this is really that justified. And how should we look at this episode to get the most out of it? Because this is a very tricky issue.
The final episode addresses this. I mean, I can't say how without giving spoilers, but I will say this, that what the show seems to be implying, and watching this episode again now with you, I'm realizing how they've been setting this up all along, which is kind of clever, which is this one group of people is so focused on quote-unquote the big picture that they're actually missing the larger picture, that sometimes it's small things that build upon each other that actually may be the answer. And it's not to say that you should ignore, you know, the other plan entirely, but I think what they're saying is there are other ways to do things. And that the one downfall here is that the obsession over the one plan, the let's view this as an enemy, as another to be taken down, may not be the only solution here. So it doesn't really bother me because, to me, if you've got two messages going on. Hers is a message of let's help these people from the inside out. You know, maybe seeds can be planted. And Sokka's is... you know, let's take these fuckers out from the top on down.
Is it Sokka or Sokka? Because that's been driving me nuts these past few
It's S-O, isn't it?
Is it? But isn't it pronounced Sokka?
Sokka, Sokka, I
don't know.
It's an imaginary
I got my
world.
ass handed to me when I said like Suki's name wrong. If I'm even saying it right now, so it's just like I wanted to just know if
it's
you knew.
okay. Well, Suki is a Japanese word for moon, so that's one thing. If it's a Japanese word, it's Sokka. And there may be some weird pause in because they do weird things with double letters, but
we're getting out.
It depends how you spell it. If it's an S-A, it's Sokka.
You know, I'll say this about this episode. I just read that this is what I realized what justified it. Because what I like is when she says, no, I have to go in, I have to help these people as best as I can. I like it isn't just a straight up battle. I like they still work in the illusion and Aang hiding under the boards, and I like working all that in. What I would have liked, and maybe they will in the next episode, I don't know, is if they could work in, okay, we're really behind schedule then to get to the big picture. Here's how we're going to justify it. Here's how we're going to work with that or work around that. So that way they found a way to sort of do both. That I could see a little bit more, but I don't even know.
I forgot which episodes.
I don't even know if they're going to address the fact that they're behind or something just coincidentally moves them forward.
I thought they did, but I can't remember for sure. I mean, when you watch a lot of these episodes together, they kind of blend in.
But this could very well be just me as an OCD guy being like, no, here's the big picture. Come on.
But I think that's one thing you're missing is. Because we know they're going to get there on time. We know they do get there on time.
But they don't know that.
But I think it's being implied that Sokka's a bit out of his mind on this one. Or Sokka's a bit out of his mind on this one. That he is so obsessed. And you see this obsession continue with him. You know, because he wants to be a part of this invasion.
But isn't it kind of justified? Or
it's justified, but I'm wondering if they all
he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that
would be a little
I think it's being implied that he's being obsessive and he's probably over-calculating the crap out of this, and they probably have more time than it's being let on.
Okay, well, they could have made that a little bit more clear. Even though he's eccentric, they've shown his ideas do work.
Well, I mean, what you've learned now is when you calculate things, you always add like 2 hours.
Yeah, now I double my time.
Yeah, well, he's probably doing that right now, is what I'm guessing. But it's these two competing philosophies going on, and in the end, what they end up doing is just both of them simultaneously.
Yeah,
which
and I do like that. That's why I
think
it worked. That's why I think it works.
You know, the question is, if you're on the way to do... It's kind of a good Samaritan tale. It's like, if you're on the way to do something good, do you ignore something else that you can do good on the way? Now, I mean,
even if it's
can you save everybody? This is the old Superman question. Can you save everybody? Can you, you know? I mean, obviously they can, but for whatever reason, she decided that this was going to be her moment where she was going to stand up and do it. And
well, what I like is that she made a choice to do this pain lady thing, and she even sort of says, maybe this wasn't the right choice, maybe this wasn't the smartest thing to do, but she started it, and she's going to finish it. I like that.
Once she may have realized that she made a mistake, but once she's committed, she's committed.
Yeah, see, I would like to emphasize that a little bit more, because it was much more, no, I'm going to help these people because they need my help. I would like more, no, I made a decision, I'm going to follow through.
But that's another way to fight a war. I mean, it's basically these two philosophies are just colliding, and they'll collide all the way to the very end. And I mean, I don't think either one is necessarily 100% right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you have an extreme, and it's usually not best to deal with extremes.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's always going to be exceptions.
Yeah, the one thing this show keeps hammering in again and again is there's always an alternate way. So, which is good, because considering all the mistakes they make in this show, it's... Not everything I think anyone can figure out is always going to go according to plan. So, I don't know. It didn't bother me that much because I feel it's another way to fight a war, which is go from the ground up or go from top down. One's a non-violent solution, the other's a very violent solution.
Well, if they're, like I say, if they're emphasizing more and more that they actually do have more time, or they can justify getting more time to help the bigger picture, I think it works a little better, and I do think there's enough good elements, and I think it is a good
knows what he's talking about.
I mean, that very well could be.
Yeah, I think he's being way overly cautious.
That very well could be.
Or to go into the battle strategies of this, I think he's overcalculating it, so...
But it balances out. I mean, like I said, it's not just one... Like I said, it's not one extreme. They try to balance out by saying, hey, look, you can't always rely on this.
I mean, it's not the greatest episode on the planet either. I mean, this is one of those middle episodes.
I'm sick of those colors. Oh, God, I hope they don't stay in that swamp for long. It's like, I just hate the browns and yellows and greens. I don't think but I know that's the point of it. I know it's supposed to look mucky and disgusting.
Yeah, they start moving away from it. I like the Fire City capital a lot. That's one of my favorite locations.
Well, the Fire Nation has so many great designs. I mean, that's why I'm really excited that they're in the Fire Nations, but it's like, oh, you gotta see the slums. It's just sort of like, okay, I mean, I get it, and I know you have to. It's like, bring me the towers, bring me the castles and stuff.
It had a few things it had to do. It showed there are other ways. It showed there's two competing philosophies. It showed us again that the Fire Nation is basically screwing its own people. So it gave us a sense that the culture's not all bad. They're perfectly reasonable people, though. Probably would have been made better if they didn't turn so quickly at the end. It was like,
again, 24 minutes.
Yeah, to me that was a commentary more. That was a commentary more on the whole religious thing of like, you hoaxed us. How dare That wasn't like a fight.
Or even just rely on God. God will come down and do all this. No,
I think that's clearly
yourself. God,
if
you're gonna do it, God can work through you and through other forces, and it's like everyone does their part.
They're planting the seeds again of do things for yourself, and I thought it was a great moment for Katara. Because when you make somebody a healer, you'd better damn well show her healing somebody, and it doesn't always happen, because there's times where they're not getting hurt, so...
Well, and I like that, yes, that it's actually, she's a healer, but she isn't always just like, calm and let me just do this. It's like, she's actually, pissed.
She's like a war nurse or something.
Those are always the heroes I like.
Rushing to the battlefield with her first aid kit,
Those are always the heroes I like. I like the heroes that get really pissed off when their civilians are hurt or the people they're going to protect are damaged, and it's like, oh, you motherfucker, and they go after them.
She and Aang in particular are very similar to Vash the Stampede from Trigun, which is that sort of pacifistic warrior of, if you want to piss them off more than anything, involve civilians, and then you will see them get pissed.
The anti-Man of Steel route. We gotta stop. I mentioned that in 5 vlogs. I'm sorry, and now it's like I'm really beating a dead horse.
I didn't bring it up this time.
Stop. No, that was my fault. I'm sorry. Not because anyone that likes Man of Steel, not at all, because I hate it. But I should really stop beating a dead horse. My apologies. I should. Just for beating a dead joke there, I apologize.
Such hate in you, Yamazuko.
Honor for Superman! So regardless, good episode. I mean, I don't think it'd be either of our favors, but I think there's definitely enough there to say...
it's serviceable.
Yeah.
It does what it needs to do, and I think it's got a good moral overall, so.
So, all right. See you in the next one.